It can unsettle you for hours when one small mistake makes your mind whisper, "What if this is something serious?" You lose a simple word. You stop in the middle of a sentence, the room gets quiet, and your heart starts racing. You walk into the kitchen and forget why you came. Not for long. Still, the fear can stay all day. You open a cabinet and stare for a second too long. Suddenly, that second feels bigger than it was. You look at your phone, your calendar, your pillbox, and wonder why your mind feels one step behind today. You may smile on the outside. Inside, you may be asking a question you do not want to say aloud. Is this just tiredness? Is this stress? Or is this the beginning of something you have been afraid of? That private fear can feel lonely. It can make a normal day feel uncertain, even when nothing else looks wrong. Maybe it happens after a poor night of sleep. Maybe it happens when your routine changes or your mind feels crowded. Maybe you forget a name you know well. Not forever, just long enough to feel embarrassed and shaken. Maybe someone notices. Maybe they say, "You just said that," and your stomach drops before you can laugh it off. Maybe you repeat a story and hear yourself doing it too late. Then you replay that moment for hours. Maybe you stand in the grocery aisle, looking at a list, wondering why your brain feels slow and cloudy. Maybe you miss a step in a simple task. Then you start watching yourself all day, testing your memory. You may begin checking everything twice: the stove, the keys, the appointment time, the front door, the pill organizer. You may tell yourself not to worry, but worry does not always listen when fear has already entered the room. If this fear lives quietly inside you, stay here with me for a moment. Take one slow breath. You do not need to prove anything right now. You do not need to pass the test while listening. Just notice what scares you most. Is it forgetting a word, losing focus, feeling slow, or not trusting yourself? Sometimes what you are feeling is brain fog. Sometimes it is memory trouble. Those are not always the same thing. Brain fog often feels like a cloudy window. Things are still there, but they do not feel clear. Your thoughts may seem slower. Your focus may drift. You may feel mentally tired before the day is half done. You may know the answer, but struggle to reach it. The word is close. It just will not come quickly. You may read something and have to read it again, not because you cannot understand it, but because your mind feels tired. That can happen when you do not sleep well. It can happen when stress has been sitting in your body too long. It can happen during grief. It can happen during pain. It can happen when life asks too much of you. It can happen after too many changes at once: a move, a loss, a new medicine, a broken routine. It can even happen when you are scared of forgetting. Fear itself can make thinking feel less steady. Memory loss feels different in some ways. It is not just cloudy thinking. It can be trouble holding on to information. Forgetting where your glasses are is one thing. Forgetting what glasses are used for is something very different. Forgetting a word now and then can happen to anyone. Forgetting the meaning of familiar words is more concerning. Missing a date and then remembering later is one kind of slip. Not knowing what day it is repeatedly feels different. Telling the same story twice is common. Not remembering that you just told it again and again may matter more. Brain fog often comes and goes. Memory loss that keeps growing may feel more fixed, more frequent, more noticeable over time. That difference matters, but when you are frightened, every small slip can feel like proof of the worst thing. Fear does that. It takes one ordinary moment and paints it in darker colors than it deserves. You stand by the sink with a coffee cup in your hand. You know something feels off, but cannot name it. Then 10 minutes later, the thought comes back. That is often how brain fog feels. Delayed, not gone. You may wake up feeling heavy in the head, as if your thoughts are still under a blanket. On those mornings, even simple choices can feel harder. What to wear, what to cook, what you plan today. You may not feel truly forgetful. You may just feel slow, dull, distracted, and emotionally worn down. That kind of fog can be deeply upsetting because it makes you doubt your own mind. And once doubt starts, it can follow you from room to room, quietly checking everything you do. You may notice yourself reaching for little tests. What day is it? When did I put that note? Did I already take my pills? Did I lock the door? Did I tell my daughter that story yesterday? These small checks come from fear, not foolishness. You are trying to feel safe inside your own mind again. That need for reassurance is human. It does not mean you are weak. It means this fear touches something deep. Because this is not only about memory, it is also about independence, dignity, confidence, and the life you know. A small slip can suddenly feel connected to everything: your home, your routine, your future, your sense of self. That is why a missing word can hurt more than it should. It is not just a word. It becomes a question. Am I changing? Is something starting? Should I tell someone? Should I hide this? You may keep these thoughts to yourself because you do not want family to worry or look at you differently. You may act normal while silently watching your own mind all day long. That can be exhausting. If you are doing that, pause here for one quiet second and ask yourself something gentle. When does this fear speak the loudest? After bad sleep? In busy places? When someone points out a mistake? That question matters because patterns can tell you more than panic can. Fear is loud. Patterns are clearer. One helpful step is to stop judging each moment all by itself. One slip rarely tells the whole story. Try looking at the bigger picture instead. Was it a hard week? Were you tired, upset, rushed, or distracted? Did you skip water? Did pain keep you awake? Did a new schedule throw your mind off balance? Brain fog often grows when your body and mind are overworked. It likes stress, poor sleep, and too much pressure. So protecting your sleep matters more than you may think. Sleep is not laziness, it is brain repair. Even one rough night can make your thinking feel slower the next day. Several rough nights can make fear louder. If sleep has been poor, be kind to yourself before you assume something worse is happening. Another helpful step is to write things down without shame. Notes are support, not surrender. A small notebook by the chair, a simple list on the fridge, a calendar you trust, a pill reminder. These tools do not mean you are failing, they mean you are building steadiness around yourself. That is wisdom, not weakness. A strong life often rests on simple systems that make daily moments easier. It can also help to lower the pressure when a word does not come fast enough. Instead of forcing it, pause, breathe, describe the thing another way. Let your mind relax for a second. Pressure can jam the signal. Calm can open it again. That is true more often than you think. Another gentle step is to stay mentally connected, but not in a punishing way. You do not need hard puzzles or long lists to prove your brain still works. A conversation with a friend helps. Reading a few pages helps. Sorting old photos helps. A short walk helps. Simple engagement matters because your mind responds well to rhythm, interest, and human connection. Isolation can make memory fears feel bigger. Quiet can turn into overthinking when you are carrying worry alone. That does not mean you must be busy all the time. It means gentle connection can steady the mind. It is also wise to notice if changes are growing, not just appearing once in a while. If something feels unusual, keeps happening, or seems to be getting worse, talk to your doctor calmly. You do not need to wait until fear becomes unbearable. You are allowed to ask questions early. Asking does not mean you are being dramatic. It means you are taking yourself seriously in a healthy way. A good conversation can help sort out what may be stress, sleep, medicine effects, mood, or something needing attention. You deserve that clarity. You deserve more than sitting alone with your worst guesses. And please remember this. Brain fog can feel frightening because it changes how sharp you feel, not who you are. A cloudy day in your mind is still a day in your mind. Clouds move. They are not the whole sky. One slow morning does not define your future. One repeated question does not write your whole story. One forgotten word does not erase your intelligence. One embarrassed moment does not take away your worth. You are not foolish because you felt scared. You're not weak because you noticed changes. You are not broken because your mind feels different on some days. You are human and you are paying attention. That matters. Careful noticing can lead to better habits, better support, and less fear over time. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is stop calling every slip a disaster. You can say, "This scared me, but I will watch the pattern before I decide what it means." That one sentence can soften the panic. It gives your mind room to breathe again. If poor sleep seems connected, protect your evenings. Less noise, less screen light, more calm before bed. If stress seems connected, lower the load where you can. Not everything must be done quickly. If mornings feel foggy, give yourself extra time. Move slower, use notes, keep the first hour simple. If crowded places make you blank out, that may be overload, not failure. If grief is sitting with you, remember this too. Grief can make the mind feel far away. When the heart is tired, the mind often follows. That does not mean you are disappearing. Sometimes you are carrying sorrow and calling it memory loss because sorrow is harder to name. Sometimes you are worn out and calling it decline because fear rushes in before truth can settle. That is why gentleness matters here. Harsh self-talk only deepens the fog. Kindness clears more than shame ever will. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to someone you love, slowly, honestly, without cruelty. You would not call them hopeless over one missing word. You would not call them broken over one tired day. Offer that same mercy to yourself. Your mind hears the tone you use. And if you have been hiding this fear, you do not have to carry it in silence forever. You can say to someone you trust, "I have been feeling foggy lately, and it has been scaring me." That one honest sentence can open the door to comfort, support, and practical help. Sometimes, what eases fear most is not a perfect answer. It is being understood while you sort things out. So if your mind has felt cloudy, slow, or uncertain, please hear this clearly. You are not alone in that feeling. You are not strange for worrying. You are not silly for noticing. This fear often grows in silence. It softens when it is named with care. And the difference between brain fog and memory loss is not always something you must solve in one afternoon. You can take it one day at a time, one pattern at a time, one helpful step at a time. You can rest more, write more down, breathe before panic. Notice what makes it worse or better. You can seek medical advice if changes feel unusual or keep building. That is a strong step, not a fearful one. Most of all, you can stop treating every hard moment as a verdict on your future. You are still yourself on foggy days. You are still yourself on forgetful days. You are still worthy of patience, dignity, and calm support while you figure out what your mind needs. So tonight, if one small slip tries to frighten you, do not let it tell the whole story. Let it be one moment, not your identity, not your future, not the final word on your mind. And if this brought you a little comfort, you can stay close by liking this video or subscribing. If you want, leave a simple comment and say, "This fear has been with me too." You do not have to explain more. For now, just breathe. You are here. You are aware, and that is a steady place to begin.